If you're thinking about building a new home on your own land here in Tennessee, I want you to hear this because there are a few mistakes I see people make over and over again. And these mistakes can cost time, money, and unnecessary stress. And the biggest one, the one that surprises people the most, is site cost. People find a great piece of land, they're excited, they're ready to build, and they're not even thinking about what it takes to prepare the land for construction. Once we explain it, they understand it, but the actual numbers can still be surprising sometimes. So today I'm breaking down the 5 biggest mistakes people make when building on their own land here in Tennessee and how to avoid them. Hey everyone, I'm Heather. I work with people all over the Middle Tennessee area who are looking to build new homes, whether you already own the land or you're searching for land, or you're just trying to figure out where to start. My goal is to help you avoid the surprises, the delays, the "I wish someone had told me this sooner" type moments. If you want more videos about home building, land buying, new construction, and navigating the entire process, make sure you like this video and subscribe so you don't miss anything. All right, let's get into it. Mistake number 1 is not understanding site costs. This is one that catches people off guard the most, and there are 2 big misunderstandings that I see in this category all the time. The first is thinking that the home price includes site costs. People will see the home price on our website, which is the base price for a floor plan, and then assume that's the full cost of building the home on their land. But the base price includes a standard crawl space and a standard foundation height of 4 blocks high, as if the lot were perfectly flat. And most lots are not perfectly flat, but that's our baseline. And every piece of land is different, every piece of land is unique, and that's why site costs are separate, because no 2 pieces of land are the same. I can't tell you how many times someone has come in excited, saying they found the perfect piece of land and that they're ready to build. And then when we start talking about site costs, they look at me like, wait, what? It's not that they're doing anything wrong, it's just not something that most people think about. Now, when we're imagining your dream home, you're thinking about the kitchen, the layout, the finishes, not the cost of clearing trees or adjusting the foundation height, but those things matter, and they matter a lot. The second misunderstanding is underestimating what site costs actually are. Site costs include things like clearing the lot, grading, driveway, adding utilities, septic, foundation height adjustments, and sometimes even adding retaining walls. It's not the fun, pretty stuff, it's the necessary stuff that makes your home buildable. And here's where the surprises happen: talking numbers. A $20,000 site cost is not shocking to me and is considered quite low site cost. A $50,000 or $100,000 site cost is not shocking to me either, but it can be surprising to some buyers. Now, when you start getting into $200,000 site costs, which is more rare, that's usually going to be tied more to like a hillside lot or something that requires a lot more work. And honestly, we typically try to avoid those type of lots because they can be unpredictable. You don't always know how much the cost can climb once excavation starts in a situation like that. Septic is also a big factor. Septic can be one of the highest cost items in the entire site prep process. People don't expect that, but it's a major part of the budget. I've had clients who thought they were getting a deal on land only to find out later that between the septic system and the site cost, you're adding tens of thousands of dollars to their total cost. And it's not actually anyone's fault. It's just one of those things you don't know until you've done it before. And here's the buyer's mindset piece. Most people assume land is land. They think if land looks good, it must be good. But the truth is, the land you see above ground tells you almost nothing about what's happening below ground. And below ground is where the money is, the rock. That's why site costs catch people off guard, because they're invisible until someone explains them. So, what should you do instead? Before you buy land, always ask for a site evaluation and site cost estimate. Even if it's just a ballpark number, it helps give you a realistic expectation. And if you're working with a builder, ask them to walk that land with you or review it with you before you make an offer. That one step can save you from a lot of surprises. And if you already own the land, just go into that process knowing that site costs are a part of the equation. It's not a bad thing, it's just something to plan for. Mistake number 2 is buying land without talking to a builder or a land experienced realtor. This one is simple, but it's huge. People fall in love with a piece of land, the trees, the privacy, the size, but they buy it without talking to anyone who actually knows how to evaluate it for building. And then they call me afterward, and that's when we discover things they didn't know to look for. Here's the truth. Not all land is buildable. Not all land is buildable for the home that you want. Not all land is buildable within your budget. A builder or an experienced realtor who specializes in land can help you identify a good, buildable lot, understand the slope, the drainage. If it's in a flood zone, they can evaluate the septic potential, check setbacks and easements, confirm utilities, and spot any hidden issues before you buy. And you can even get an upfront site cost estimate. I had a couple once who bought a beautiful piece of land, and they've gotten this gorgeous property with a good deal, but it had a slope to it, which was going to require a basement that they weren't necessarily expecting. And that did add a lot to the cost. It's just not what they had envisioned, and especially for their budget. They weren't upset, they just didn't know. And that's the thing, most people don't know what to look for. They're not builders, they're not engineers. They're just excited about the idea of building a home. So, what should you do instead? Bring your builder or your land experienced realtor into the process early. Let them help you evaluate the land before you buy it. They'll see things that you won't, and that'll help you avoid land that looks pretty but is expensive or difficult to build on. And if you already own land, just know that the evaluation process is still important. It helps set expectations and avoid surprises. Mistake number 3 is misunderstanding the construction timeline. People think it can be done in either 6 or 7 months, or they think it's going to take 2 to 3 years. Neither of those is accurate. Here's the real timeline for the builder I work for. 9 to 12 months on average, typically 10 to 12 months is more of our sweet spot. It can move as fast as 9 months, or if you're doing a basement, it might take up to 14 months. Years ago, when I first started with the company, yes, we could build a home in 6 or 7 months from contract to close, but things changed over time. Things like COVID, supply chain delays, and municipalities becoming overwhelmed by population growth. We don't need to go deep into all of that, but it does explain why timelines have shifted over time. And the biggest misunderstanding is that 10 to 12 months timeline is not all actual construction or build time. That timeline includes contract signing, design center selections, engineering, site-specific floor plans, front-end prep work, permitting, septic design, and approvals. If the start date goes beyond that typical 2 to 3 months of pre-construction, it's usually because we're waiting on something septic related. For that final design or approval, especially in counties like Williamson County, where that process obviously takes a little bit longer. Once we break ground, the actual build itself is only a few months, but the full process from contract to move-in includes a lot of behind-the-scene work that the buyers don't necessarily see. I've had clients who thought the 10 to 12 month timeline meant only construction, and then they were surprised, if they got a late start or when their home was supposed to break ground, and then they think, oh, I still have a year until my house is done, but it's really only a few months from there. Now, here's the buyer's mindset. People tend to think of building a home like ordering something. You pick what you want, and then it gets made. But building a home is more like a series of approvals, steps, and inspections and processes, and that all has to happen in the right order. And some of those steps depend on outside parties like counties, engineers, and utility companies. That's why the timeline is what it is. So, what should you do instead? Plan for the full process, not just the build time. Ask your builder to walk you through that timeline step by step, so you can understand what happens before construction starts. And you can be prepared with the fact that some parts of the process, like septic approvals, are outside of the builder's control. The more you understand the process, the smoother it feels. Mistake number 4 is designing a home that doesn't fit the land. This happens more often than people realize. On a teardown lot, for example, people don't realize the new home is much deeper than the old one, so the lot may not be deep enough for the new footprint. Part of the lot may be in a flood zone, and that's something that we check for. A slope may require a basement that you weren't expecting, or you want a basement but the land is too flat. Driveway placement may not work as you imagine. Setbacks may shrink the buildable area. I've seen clients fall in love with a floor plan only to find out later that it doesn't fit their lot. Sometimes the home is too wide or the slope forces design changes they didn't anticipate. And it's not that the plan is wrong, it's just not the right plan for that land. That's why the land and the home floor plan kind of need to be chosen together in some situations. Now here's the buyer's mindset piece. People often start with a home. They find a plan they love and then they try to make the land fit the plan. But sometimes the better approach is to start with the land and then choose a plan that works with it. The land is the foundation, literally and figuratively. And that home has to work with the land, not against it. So, what should you do instead? Before you finalize your floor plan, make sure your builder has evaluated the land, let them tell you what will work and won't work, and be open to adjusting the plan if needed. It's much easier to make changes before you start than after you've already committed. Mistake number 5 is forgetting about easily overlooked costs. These aren't things like site costs, these are extras people forget to budget for. Things like blinds, patios, extra concrete, extra landscaping, fencing, outdoor living upgrades, and additional finishes. These aren't required to build the home, but they're things that people want and they add up quickly. I've had clients who budgeted perfectly for the home itself, but forgot about the extras like the concrete to make it feel finished. Those finishing touches can easily add $10,000 to $30,000 depending on what you choose. And it's not that anyone is doing anything wrong, it's just easy to forget about these things when you're focused on the big picture. Now, here's the buyer's mindset piece. When people think about building a home, they think about the home itself. They're not thinking about blinds or patios or landscaping necessarily. Those things feel like later items, but they are part of the overall cost of making the home livable and comfortable. And if you don't plan for them, they can be surprising. So, what should you do instead? When you're planning your budget, think beyond the structure. Think about how you want to live in the space once it's done. Do you want a patio for your coffee in the mornings? Do you want fencing for your dog? Do you want landscaping to make it feel more homey and curb appeal? These are things that you need to plan for so you're not caught off guard. If this has been helpful so far, make sure you like this video and subscribe. I post new videos every week about home building, land buying, and navigating the new home construction process here in Tennessee. If you're thinking about building on your own land or you're looking for land and want to make sure you're choosing the right property, reach out. I love helping people evaluate land, understand site costs, choose the right floor plan, and avoid the surprises that can derail a project. Tell me where you are in the process and I'll help you take the next step with confidence. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.